Hi, my name is Kate Condon, and I'm doing my work experience this year for Tosca. I was one of the 7 girls that were picked for this program this year, for this show, and I'm really excited to see it from its first rehearsal to its final dress rehearsal. To journal my experience through this, I've decided to do vlogs after each experience to kind of get my thoughts down, and so you can truly see how much of an exciting experience this is for me, and I think through video is a really good way to show it. So basically, this is what we did on the first day. They sat us down right away in the big boardroom at the back of the opera hall, and Colleen, Danny, and Melissa went over what was expected of us, what we'd be getting out of this experience, safety procedures, emergency stuff like that. And it was great to know the basics, it was great to learn about the Vancouver Opera as a company, and it was just really exciting to kind of get in there and feel like you're in such a professional setting and they're welcoming you with open arms, which we really appreciated. So then we went into the rehearsal hall and it was incredible. It's pandemonium, there's people everywhere, there was child chorus members there, so they were all running around, there was different papers, and what was really cool right away is you could see that there was tape on the stage, and they told us that that was to use for staging, because obviously they can't use the big elaborate set pieces when we're just in the tiny rehearsal space, so they had taped down everything so intricately, and we had examined this later, Maddie and I. We were looking at the different tape colors and wondering, oh, does this mean if it's at different levels? Does it mean these are stairs? And we were having a great time trying to figure out oh, this is door, this is slightly upstage. It was really cool. And then rehearsal started, and it started with the child chorus. They were incredible. They are so young, younger than us, and they are doing such incredible music. Since Vancouver Opera has their policy of all musicians knowing their music before they come to rehearsal, the pace that even the kids were able to go at was incredible, and already we were seeing such a wall of sound come out that it was just incredible to see that 1 second they wouldn't have any staging and then it would just come together in front of you. So I'm really excited to see how the changes are affected to the original staging to the final. Another really interesting dynamic was the stage director, the musical director, and the stage manager. They worked together so intricately. They were calling out bar numbers, making sure everyone wrote down changes, working together to see which wouldn't work. Which I saw was really cool was the stand-in for the musical director was making sure that in one particular scene the kids were having too much fun spinning around in a circle, so she was focusing on making sure that that sound got out to the audience, and the director was making sure that this fit the overall mood, and the stage manager was counting them in. And it is such a collaborative teamwork experience that you need to be depending on these people, and it was just so awesome to see because you could tell that they were making something really cool that they were really passionate about and working in a really incredible way. Next, I would like to talk about Tosca overall. It's going to be an incredible show. I think Vancouver Opera picked extremely well. I had never heard of it before, and I think the way that they are doing it with the younger actors, and they're having a double cast, so it's really cool to see how the different singers are affecting and how they have to do rehearsals twice as much to make sure both are prepared for on stage. Another thing I'd like to talk about was how the stage director was always on his feet. He was into the scene. He was up in the middle of the set even, placing the actor and walking through it with him. So instead of giving notes after, like any director I've worked with in the past, they were making sure that actors would correct minor differences so they wouldn't learn mistakes, and it just made the corrections period so much quicker so you could work a lot faster, which I thought was really impressive. Another thing I thought was really impressive was that day we actually didn't have the actual music director because he had been working all day. We had a stand-in, and I forget her name, but she was really great and she had curly hair. I'm sorry, I forget your name. I'll learn it tomorrow. And it was amazing because she was third in line, but she was doing a phenomenal job. She was conducting and singing the part along with the accompanist, and it's amazing how quickly people can pick up jobs and how aware you have to be of everyone else's jobs because you might be called upon at any moment, so props to you. I thought that was really impressive. Another thing I thought that was really cool was how well the stage manager, assistant stage manager, and other assistant stage manager worked. They were always at the back counting in beats, which is so difficult in music. They need to know exactly what's going on and have marked their scores exactly right, and it shows in their scores. It's covered in sticky notes. It's really quite impressive. It looks like a rainbow in there. How on the ball they are, and you can tell how much the singers and the actors appreciate it and depend on them, and it's another source of that really important teamwork, which I thought was really, really interesting, and I'm excited to see how that dynamic evolves throughout the shows and how much more they become comfortable they become with each other. In the actual rehearsals of Tosca, I found it really interesting how they would work little scenes over and over and over again until it had the exact thing that they wanted, and then they would put it together as a whole. For them, the little details make the bigger picture. So things like making sure that the gun placement was right for every single one of the soldiers when they're executing the main guy. It starts with a C. I'm sorry, I'm very bad with names. But it's interesting to see how they worked that so carefully, and then when they did it the final scene with all of the singing and all of the music, it came together beautifully, and that was just a 20-minute period of going over and over and over and making sure, like, beat 1, beat 2, beat 3. It was really cool. The actors are very impressive and very professional, because you can tell that this is what they do for a career, and when the director or anyone in that power of authority says, hey, this is where you go, changes are made immediately, which is really impressive. In conclusion, I am really looking forward to this work experience. I am so lucky for this opportunity. I don't know if I've told them, but this is a career I want post-secondary. I am looking into it. I'm working for it. So having this opportunity to see rehearsals, to see their long hours, to see exactly what goes on behind the scenes, and the very diverse jobs that you can have within an opera is absolutely fantastic. I'm really excited to look at specifically what a stage manager does and how important they are for the overall production, because that is the area I would like to go into. But I would like to also look at the musical director and things like that. Next week, or on Friday, I will be focusing on exactly the little jobs and how each character is doubled, because I think that's really interesting how they have to split rehearsals. And I want to know exactly why they're splitting rehearsals, like if actors are just busy or something like that. So that's a question I have to ask. I'm really excited for this opportunity again, and yeah, I'll stay tuned for the next vlog. Thanks.